are extremely influential in their communities, whether they're delegates or community organizers or teachers. Their impact is beyond themselves. But you can't attack them individually. You don't attack their patriotism. You don't attack their integrity.
Yes, donkey of the day for Friday, October 13th. Yes, it is Friday the 13th, but who gives a damn? It goes to a sheriff in Louisiana named Steve Prater. Now, in the state of Louisiana, they have something called the Justice Reinvestment Package. It's a series of bills passed in June that could reduce Louisiana's prison population by 10% and save more than $260 million over the next decade by slowly releasing non-violent offenders. Okay, the legislation is set to go into effect on November 1st and would authorize the early release of 1,400 prisoners across 21 parishes in the state. All right, drop on the clues bombs for the Justice Reinvestment Package, please. That's a beautiful thing. Over 1,400 non-violent offenders released from prison. I'm all for that. Well, Sheriff Stephen Prater is a sheriff for the Cotto Parish, and 35 prisoners will be released immediately from his parish, but that seems to be one too many for Steve Prater. Now, Steve Prater refers to non-violent offenders as good ones, and I guess the violent offenders are the bad ones, and Steve Prater wants to keep some of the good ones instead of letting these non-violent offenders move on with their lives. Let's hear why Sheriff Steve Prater wants to keep some of the good ones in prison.
I don't want some good ones. In addition to them, they're releasing some good ones that we use every day to wash cars, to change oil in our cars, to cook in the kitchen, to do all that where we save money. Well,
so even though these people have paid their debt to society, you want to keep them locked up because, in your words, they wash your cars, change your oil, cook in your kitchen. Could someone tell this good old boy, Sheriff Steve Prater, that slavery officially ended on December 6, 1865? Now, I know the 13th Amendment of the Constitution abolishes slavery and involuntary servitude except as a punishment for crime. So, yes, prisons are modern-day slavery, but you can't keep me in prison just because you want free labor. Now, Marjorie Essman, executive director for the ACLU of Louisiana, told the Huffington Post that Sheriff Prater's desire to keep prisoners purely for their free labor is essentially slavery. Duh! She goes on to say the purpose of the criminal justice system is to keep the community safe and to make sure that nobody is incarcerated any longer than necessary. It's certainly not to provide free labor for law enforcement. It is obviously not only ludicrous, but a gross violation of people's rights, end quotes. Somebody needs to go to Sheriff Steve Prater's house and free his slaves. It's no doubt in my mind that he's got some indentured servants in his backyard tending to the tulips. I guarantee you go to his house right now, Ray and Claude from the movie Life is in his bathroom cleaning the toilets. This is why prisons will never ever truly be correctional facilities, because they aren't designed to actually correct someone, okay? Instead of all that free labor they doing, let them take some college courses. Let them take a trade, things that will actually better them when they come home. Good old boys like Steve Prater want these prisoners to be locked up so
also, prison labor.
Partnerships between correctional industries and private business are a rapidly growing segment of a multi-billion-dollar industry in America.
We talk about sweatshops and we beat our fists at people overseas for exploiting poor free labor, but we don't look that it's happening.
Also, prison labor.
Partnerships between correctional industries and private business are a rapidly growing segment of a multi-billion-dollar industry in America.
We talk about sweatshops, and we beat our fists at people overseas for exploiting poor free labor, but we don't look that it's happening every day. You have corporations who are now investing in this free labor.
It's all over. It's from sports, uniforms, hats, Microsoft, Boeing. Federal inmates are making the guidance systems for the Patriot missile system. JCPenney jeans made in Tennessee. Victoria's Secret. Anderson Flooring wood products are made in Georgia. It's always been Idaho potatoes. They're planted, grown, harvested, packed, and shipped by inmates.
Victoria's Secret and JCPenney switched suppliers once their ties came to light. Simply put, corporations are operating in prisons and profiting from punishment.
Prison industries have gotten so big that it's very difficult now to try and do away with them. Too much money out there, too many lawmakers that support it because they're being lobbied. So the public's got to stand up and take it back. They'll never get down to the hell.
Using this stuff under fair use, and also remember to like and subscribe this channel.
Walk it like I talk it, 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 woo, walk it like I talk it, walk it like I talk it, ay, walk it like I talk it, walk it like I talk it, yeah. Take my shoes and walk a mile, something that you can't do.